Students, essential elements of the states. As we know, the essential elements of the state is population. State is an organized human association. So, state is an organized means systematic human association. Population is its first and foremost element. So, of all the essential elements, the first and foremost element is population. No state can exist and survive without people. So, the state should consist of people. Yeah, there must be some to rule and others to be ruled. So, the population was divided into rule and ruled. A desert where human beings do not live is not regarded as a state. So, for calling a state, there should be population. If there is no population in desert, it is not called as the state. So, the first and the compulsory or mandatory element is the population. The political thinkers expressed different opinions in regard to the size of the population. Okay, as we know that the population should be there for calling a state. When it is occupied with the population only, a place or territory is called as the state. But what is the number? There are different opinions. For Plato, the ideal state should not comprise more than 5040 people. Rousseau, the French philosopher, viewed 10,000 inhabitants as the ideal population. So there are different opinions on the number of people for calling a state. In modern states, the maximum and minimum size of population has not been prescribed. So we should come to the conclusion that there should not be no limited digits or numbers of population of people which is the restriction for calling a state. So there may be unlimited or minimum, or the population should be there, whatever may be the number. So according to the recent census, states like China and India have more than 125 crores of population each. On the other hand, Vatican City having 839 persons and Nauru having 9,945 persons remain as independent states in the world. So, the minimum population and maximum population states are also included in the world. There is no such hard rule as to the exact number of people required to make a state. So, there is no exact number of people for being or calling a state. On the whole, the population of a state must be large enough to preserve the independence and sovereignty and to exploit its natural resources. It must be small enough to be well governed. So, if the state is very small, for example, Telangana, if it is small, the well being and the welfare state may be established. So, Aristotle rightly said that good citizens make a good state. So, the quality of life is important. If the population is low, the natural resources may be high and the people may be very rich, their quality of life may be very rich. So their character, culture and sense of belonging to the state. So the good people creates the good state. The second element is known as the territory. Territory is a fixed geographical area. In the second is the second essential element of state. It denotes geographical area of state. It is owned and controlled by a government which exercises sovereign power. It encompasses the portion of Earth's surface which is the exclusive possession and control of the state. So the territory or the place or the geographical area and the control by the government with sovereign power, these are all the conditions for calling a state. So the territory is the second foremost one. State requires a fixed territory with clear demarcated boundaries for exercising undisputed authority. There should be an undisputed authority. Territory is the material basis. Territory of a state comprises, so in surface we will have the land, mountains, rivers and lakes within its frontiers, territorial waters extending up to 12 nautical miles into the sea from the coast, and terrestrial space lying above its land. These are all the various forms of the geographical area. So it may be contains with land, mountains, river, lakes, water and space, sky, etc. Like population, there are no limitation for the territory of a state. As we know, like 5,900 and odd or 10,000 is the minimum and maximum, and there should not be a number. In the same way, even in case of territory also, there should not be a restriction. It may vary from a few square miles, as in the case of Monaco, and few million square miles, as in the case of the United States. So there may be a territory little or very large. In modern world, small states as well as a big states exist. From the administrative point of view, small states are always better than the big states. So there is a facility for administration, good governance. From the difference point of view, they are not good if the state is very big. So there may be a problem of controlling. So this is treated as the second one. So the third essential element is known as government. State must possess an organized government. Government is the machinery through which the state exercises its supreme power. It constitutes the brain and head of the state. Government is indeed an indispensable machinery by means of which the state maintains its existence. So the state functions as policies and objectives. It may be noted that a community of persons does not form a state unless it is organized by an established government. Government is the executive branch of state. So in government, it is essential for administering political, economic, social and cultural affairs. So government comprises three organs: the legislative, executive and judiciary. The legislative prepares the legislations and administrative implements the